Imagine this. A child wakes up, grabs their tablet before even brushing their teeth. Breakfast? With YouTube. Homework? Skipped for Roblox. Dinner? While watching TikToks. Bedtime? Optional. Now imagine this happens every single day. No screen limits, no rules, no restrictions. What if you gave your child unlimited screen time? Would it boost their creativity or destroy their brain? In today's video, we'll explore what science says happens when screens become a child's entire world, from brain chemistry and sleep patterns to behavior, attention, and long-term development. And spoiler alert, it's not just about the number of hours, the type of screen time matters even more. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about why this matters now more than ever. According to multiple studies, the average child spends between 6 to 9 hours a day on screens, and that number has skyrocketed since the pandemic. Some teens report over 12 hours a day. And we're not just talking about educational tools, we're talking games, YouTube, TikTok, social media, endless scrolling, instant gratification, dopamine on tap. Screens are everywhere, in schools, in restaurants, in the backseat of your car, even in bed. They're a modern pacifier, a babysitter, and for some families, a full-time replacement for outdoor play or face-to-face interaction. But what happens when just one more video becomes an entire lifestyle? When a child is constantly stimulated by screens, something critical is happening behind the scenes, in their brain. Let's talk dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good neurotransmitter. Every time your child gets a like on a post, wins a game, or sees something exciting on YouTube, their brain releases a hit of dopamine. And the brain learns, I like this, I want more. But here's the catch. The more dopamine they get from screens, the harder it becomes for them to enjoy regular life. Things like reading, going outside, or talking to others start to feel boring by comparison. It's not just about entertainment. It's about addiction-like patterns forming in a developing brain. A study from the University of Alberta found that children who spent more than 2 hours a day on screens scored lower on language and thinking tests. Another from the National Institutes of Health showed actual differences in brain structure, with thinner cortexes in kids who used screens more. That cortex, it's tied to critical thinking, problem-solving, and decision-making. Now let's talk about something every parent notices eventually: how screen time affects sleep and mood. Screens, especially blue light from tablets and phones, suppress melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. That means kids using screens before bed sleep worse, wake up groggier, and often struggle with irritability and focus the next day. But it doesn't stop at sleep. High screen use is also linked to increased anxiety, depression, and aggression in children and teens. Why? Because constant screen exposure removes the very things that help regulate emotions: face-to-face interactions, physical activity, boredom, which builds imagination. It's also because many online platforms expose children to hyper-stimulating content, social comparison, and even cyberbullying, things their minds aren't yet equipped to process. So what actually happens if you give your child unlimited screen time? Let's paint a picture, based on what we've seen in real-world studies. Their attention span drops. They struggle to focus on non-digital tasks like schoolwork or reading. Their patience shrinks. They're used to instant entertainment, so anything slow, like a conversation or book, feels frustrating. Their physical health declines. More screen time equals less movement, and higher risks of obesity and poor posture. Their emotional regulation weakens. They get irritable when the screen is taken away and may throw tantrums. Their social skills suffer. The more time spent alone with a screen, the less confident they become in real social situations. In extreme cases, pediatricians have documented children with early signs of screen dependency disorder, similar to substance addiction behaviors. But here's the twist. Not all screen time is bad. There's a difference between passive and active screen time. Passive, mindlessly watching videos, endless scrolling, repetitive gaming. Active, coding apps, learning platforms, creative tools, educational games. When used in moderation and with intention, screens can be powerful tools for learning, creativity, and connection. The problem is when screen time replaces everything else: movement, conversation, free play, sleep. So the real danger of unlimited screen time isn't just the number of hours, it's the lack of balance. As the experiment unfolds, the physical environment begins to reflect the changes as well. Rooms once filled with books, art supplies, and games now lean heavily towards screens. The walls, once adorned with drawings and photographs, become mere backdrops for the glowing displays. The tactile experiences of life, touching the pages of a book, feeling the texture of clay, or the warmth of the sun, fade into distant memories. The world outside, with its myriad of colors, sounds, and sensations, becomes a mere backdrop to the vibrant digital universe that has taken precedence. If you're a parent, you've probably heard the phrase, "just 5 more minutes." So how do you reduce screen time without turning your home into a battlefield? Here are some science-backed tips. Create screen-free zones. No screens during meals, before bed, or in the car unless necessary. Set a visual timer. Kids respond well to countdowns they can see. Replace with fun, not rules. Don't just remove screens. Add in alternatives like crafts, building, or outdoor time. Be a role model. If you're always on your phone, they will be too. Talk about the why. Explain what screens do to the brain in kid-friendly language. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends no more than 1 hour per day of high-quality screen time for children aged 2 to 5, and consistent limits for older kids. But more important than strict time is content quality, consistency, and context. So, what if you gave your child unlimited screen time? It might seem harmless at first. They're entertained, they're quiet, you finally get a moment to breathe. But over time, that moment of peace can cost you more than you realize. Their attention, sleep, mood, physical health, and even their relationship with you. The goal isn't to ban screens completely, it's to use them wisely. Let screens be a tool, not a trap. However, the duality of this existence cannot be ignored. The very tools that empower also ensnare. The balance between the digital and the physical world becomes precarious. The allure of the screen, with its infinite scroll and constant barrage of information, threatens to overshadow the richness of lived experience. The challenge lies in navigating this new reality, finding a way to embrace the benefits while mitigating the risks.